I'm here today with Jack Wu. He is the CEO and founder of Nightingale Security. Jack, welcome.
Thank you.
So the inspiration for Nightingale Security is you have a very, very innovative model. But before we get into that model, tell me, how did this company come about?
So my co-founder, John, and we've known each other since 10 years old. And we've always played with RC cars, RC airplanes, basically anything that can be remotely controlled. We were interested, especially if it has wheels or wings. So we met since we're 10, and then I did my startup stint back in the late 90s. He went off to get his PhD in aerospace engineering from Stanford. And then afterwards, he got a job at SpaceX. Long story short, I came to him with a concept after I exited with my previous company. And I told him about the concept of robotic aerial security. And he was immediately, do you really want to do this? I'm like, yes. And then I asked him, is it really possible? He's like, yeah. So we actually did due diligence on the technical risks. We also looked at the market risks. We did a lot of market studies in terms of whether or not this idea is actually, can be validated, that there's demand for this. And then we also look at the financial risk. Is this fundable? Is this idea something that can potentially scale to a certain valuation that would attract investors? And once we've answered all those questions, we decided to do the business.
So the company was born, it began to launch, and the model is very unique in the area of security. And what exactly are you doing here?
So the model is robotic, robot as a service. It's also called RaaS, except with 2 A's. So it's basically SaaS, but with a robotic system. The hardware itself is simply the platform that we need to be able to perform the robotic task. The data that we gather also is part of the solution that we provide to our customers. So our customers, in the case of security, will be able to visualize using visual data in the form of live video, be able to see a specific location. And the system can then learn at the edge, because we don't take our customers' data up onto the cloud. So we leave it at the edge behind the customer's firewall where the machine learning happens. And that learning then gets translated into intelligence for the drone. So the longer the drone operates at a specific location, the more intelligent and familiar it becomes.
And the equipment is owned by your company?
Yes, they're all robotic employees. So we don't just have human employees. We have robotic employees, and we also have AI employees. So Al, Autonomous Logistics, its job is to make sure that all the drones in their health status are being monitored. So when a battery needs to be replaced, when the drone needs to be preventively maintained, we send out a new drone. Those are all the job of Al. So Al is sort of the health care program for our robotic employees. Itself is something that gets smarter over time as well.
Now, these drones will be located on rooftops of the buildings?
Rooftops, just anywhere where the customer wants it. So on rooftop, next to parking lots, that's fenced off. We've operated from different locations. Some are very, very challenging due to the weather, sand, extreme heat, extreme cold. We have a location in Detroit, really, really cold. We also have a location in Colorado that gets a lot of sand. Like literally, they have, you leave the system out there for a day, you need to come out with a brush to brush off the sand. So
now the operator for oversight of the drones, are they housed on the facility, or how does that work?
So the customer actually operates it, but the customer are operationally trained and certified by the factory, which is us. Mm-hmm. So we are the solutions provider. And once they are certified, that means they know how to properly operate our system. We soldier-proof our systems to make sure that human error And one of the most important things about robotics is we see ourselves as a robotics company that requires human input in order to truly realize the potential or the value of the system. So humans work great at lots of things: imagination, artistry, opinions. These are all things that's not easily replicated, by AIs or machines. But we are also not good at many things. And one of them is reliability in terms of doing the same task over and over again. And human error happens. It always does. So our system is designed so we prevent a lot of false user input.
So when the drones are running, I'm just curious. A helicopter would have a searchlight. Is there any plan to go beyond the camera of, how do you enforce or track people?
Yeah, I think there are definitely other payloads that could add value to our service. But the key is to make sure that the existing platform is very reliable and it meets and exceeds the expectation of our customers. And then after that, there could be additional software services, additional payloads that's combined with software services, sort of like a cable model. So after a while, the subscription fee can change, and they could turn things on and off.
So Jack, how does a potential customer go about contacting you?
So you can find us on our website, www.nightingalesecurity.com. Nightingale as the bird, and security to be secure.
Okay, I've been visiting here today with Jack Wu of Nightingale Security. Jack, thanks for being on today's show.
Thank you very much.